Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Yashasvi Gupta, with your daily roundup of legal updates from across the country. For detailed reading, you can always visit on our website. Please make sure to watch this video till the end and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. In a major development, the Supreme Court has ordered the formation of a special investigation team to probe Vantara, the Reliance Foundation's Zoological Rescue and Rehabilitation Center in Jamnagar. The SIT, headed by former Supreme Court Judge Justice J. Chelameswar, will investigate compliance with wildlife laws, acquisition of animals, particularly elephants, and concerns about animal welfare, biodiversity use, and even allegations of wildlife trade. The court clarified that this is only a fact-finding exercise, not an indictment, but directed the SIT to submit its report by September 12, 2025. In the next news today, the Supreme Court held that National Green Tribunal has no jurisdiction to direct the Enforcement Directorate to launch investigation under the PMLA against an entity. The Supreme Court bench of CJI B.R. Gavai and Justice K. Vinod Chandran quashed the NGT's direction to Enforcement Directorate to act under the PMLA. Referring to Varis Chemicals Private Limited versus Uttar Pradesh Pollution Control Board, the court held that Section 3 of PMLA applies only when there are illegal property gains from a scheduled offence. In this case, since no FIR or complaint alleging offences under environmental protection laws scheduled under PMLA existed, the NGT's direction was found unsustainable. The Supreme Court expressed concern over the delay by high courts in delivering judgments, saying that such practices deprive litigant of their right to seek further remedies. The court reiterated its ruling in Anil Rai versus State of Bihar, wherein the court directed that the parties are free to move an application before the Chief Justice of the High Court for withdrawal of case and to be assigned to a different bench if the judgment is not pronounced within 6 months after being reserved. The bench noted that some high courts only pronounce final orders but withhold detailed judgments for long periods. It said that this deprives the aggrieved party of the opportunity to seek further judicial redressal and has been deprecated in many judgments. The observations came while hearing a special leave petition against interim orders of the Allahabad High Court. In the SLP, the appellant averred that his appeal has been pending since 2008 and he has moved the High Court on 9 different occasions for early listing, hearing and disposal of the appeal. Despite multiple requests and Supreme Court directions to dispose of the matter within 3 months, the judgment was never delivered. The Supreme Court then directed the Registrar General of the High Court to immediately bring this to the notice of the Chief Justice and also submit a report to the correction of the averments made. The Delhi High Court set aside a 2017 order of the Central Information Commission directing the CBSE to allow inspection of class 10th and 12th records of former Union Minister Smriti Irani. Justice Sachin Datta held that the right to information under Section 3 of the RTI Act is not absolute and is subject to exemptions under Section 8 Clause 1. He noted that the disclosure of educational qualifications in this case served no public interest, since such details are not a statutory requirement for holding public office. The court also set aside the order in question in similar CIC directions, asking Delhi University to disclose details of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's bachelor's degree. In the order, Justice Datta observed that disclosure of academic details sans any overriding public interest would amount to an intrusion into the personal sphere, which is constitutionally protected after K.S. Puttaswamy judgment of the Supreme Court. The bench further criticized the CIC for directing even a private school to trace the roll number of the concerned public functionary, terming it beyond the RTI Act. The Bombay High Court granted interim bail for 3 days to Ramesh Gaichor, one of the accused in the Bhima Koregaon Elgar Parishad case, enabling him to visit his ailing father in Pune. A division bench of Justice Ajay Gadkari and Justice Rajesh Patil ordered Ramesh release on a surety of Rs 25,000. Notably, Ramesh had challenged the July 1, 2025 order of a special court which rejected his plea for interim bail. According to him, his 75-year-old father is not well and is ailing and has been admitted to a hospital in Pune. Thus, he sought an interim bail on humanitarian grounds. However, the special court designated to hear the cases under the National Investigation Agency rejected his application. The Punjab and Haryana High Court set aside the conviction of a man sentenced to 9 years for rape on allegations by a married woman that he had sexual relations with her on a false promise of marriage. The court observed that inducement for marriage may apply in the case of an unmarried woman, but not when the prosecutrix was already married. She had admitted of being in a strained relationship with her husband serving in the army and claimed she was seeking divorce. She also stated that she had physical relations with the appellant but failed to provide specific dates or details. Rejecting the appellant's plea of trial irregularity due to absence of a public prosecutor under Section 225 of CRPC, the court held that no denial of fair opportunity had occurred. On merits, it concluded that the claim of inducement was implausible and the case reflected a consensual relationship later turning sour. The court held such a relationship could not ground a rape charge under Section 376 of IPC and accordingly allowed the appeal, setting aside the conviction. Coming to the last news of the day, the Allahabad High Court recently observed that advocates have a dual responsibility, one towards the client and second towards the court, where they must assist the court respectfully rather than causing disruptions in the proceedings. In this case, applicant had approached the High Court for a second time seeking bail. Since the first bail was rejected and no new ground was shown for the grant of bail, the court rejected the application. Despite the rejection, counsel for the bail applicant continued to argue the case. Deprecating the advocate's behavior, the court observed that the counsel for the applicant not only continued to argue the case after the order had been passed in an open court, but also caused a disturbance and disrupted the proceedings. This behavior is considered criminal contempt of court as it undermines the authority and decorum of the judicial process. No litigant can be permitted to interfere in the proceedings of the court after passing of the order. The court said that no litigant can be permitted to interfere in the proceedings of the court after passing of the order.